Yay, it's art time! Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to continue building on our watercolor series. If you haven't seen our previous videos, you can check out our Introduction to Watercolor video, as well as our 3 basic watercolor techniques video. Today we're going to be talking about wax resist using crayon. So go ahead, grab your supplies. I'll have those listed on the screen for you, and I'll see you at the desk. All right, everybody, welcome back. So glad you're here. So thanks for joining us. Today, like I said, we're going to be talking about wax resist technique and using it with watercolor. So this technique is great if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, or if you're an elementary teacher who needs some ideas, these techniques will be perfect for you. So the big star of the show today, in addition to our watercolor, will be some crayons. So you can just go ahead and grab, I have Crayola, I love Crayola, so this is what I'm going to be using today. And you can use as many or as few colors as you'd like. So here's what's cool about the wax technique is, as we know, crayons are usually made with some kind of a wax component. And what's cool is if you think about it, wax and water don't mix. So we can use that to our advantage as artists. So what I like to do and what I've used in the past is have a project where you can do some elements in crayon and leave some elements on the page blank. And then what we're going to do is we're going to paint on top of it. And anywhere that you have the wax, the water isn't gonna stick, right? It's gonna repel it. So let's go ahead and just play around and see what we can do. So one technique you can do is to take your crayon and draw something. And you can actually just go ahead and color the entire thing in with crayon. So I find, especially if I've been working with an elementary, I've done this a lot with elementary students. And so we'll do a project like this where they'll do their brainstorming, and then they'll color in the most important things of their project with crayon, nice and solid. And again, the most important thing here is make sure you fill in all your little white spaces, because if you see white, the paint is gonna absorb right into that paper. So you can draw and fill in things. You can draw open-ended shapes. Why not? Let's just have some fun and make some fun shapes. All right, and I'll leave an area here. We'll just do a circle, keep it simple, where I don't really fill it all the way in, and we'll see how that looks too. Cool. So now that you've got some random shapes drawn on your page, let's see how that goes with the water. So again, you're going to take your watercolor, you're going to wipe off the extra, and we're going to swirl about 3 times. Let's just pick blue, why not? 1, 2, 3. And you'll see anywhere that you've got the crayon, you can paint right on top of it, and you can kind of see, let's see if we can zoom in here. That water is literally not going to stick. It's just going to kind of bounce right off. You can take your finger and just wipe that off. So it's kind of fun because anywhere you've got that wax, it's not going to absorb. Anywhere that you have white space showing, it's going to keep it in and kind of act as a barrier. Now, what I would recommend you do is play with the thickness of your lines. If you've got a really thin line here, it's going to be easy to paint outside the lines. But like, let's say I drew this little balloon here, and I went to paint inside, and now I'm realizing my line's not super thick. So you can even go back in, maybe wait for it to dry a little bit. You can go back in with your crayon, and I'm just going to go around it and make sure my lines are super duper thick. And what this is going to do is it's going to prevent your colors from mixing. So you can use this technique when you're drawing, and anywhere that you have a line like normally you would do in pencil, go on top of it really thick with some crayon, and then you can paint different areas different colors, and that wax line is going to keep everything from kind of jumping through. So let's just kind of have some fun and let's add some colors and see what we can get. And I'm just going to play here. You can see here, anywhere that there's wax, again, it's going to resist. And then everything in the middle is going to get dyed. So hopefully you've had fun with this technique. I'm gonna post some photos for you of when I've used this in the classroom. You can see some cool underwater seascapes that my elementary students have done using this technique, and hopefully that'll give you some inspiration on how you can use this for your own art. So I encourage you, go grab some crayons, get some watercolor, have fun, and until next time, keep creating.